Yes, a bowl of raisins for the students, please. Hey, I came of driving age in the go-go early 90s. 'Twas the era of In Living Color and Boys to Men, and I was living in the fair city of Indianapolis, home of the eponymous 500-mile race that conjures up visions of sleek and nimble precision race cars. So naturally, when it came time to buy my first car, I chose a rusty 1978 Volvo 242 with an AM radio. The Volvo ran sporadically, and when it did, it was plodding and prone to overheat. I reckon that Dr. Freud, or Dr. Phil, whichever one of them is relevant in these times and days, might say that my car was some sort of reflection of my mindset and personality, and also my budget. The Volvo cost $500. Flash forward to 2018, and in the midst of the mirrorless camera arms race, indeed the Nikon Z6 and 7 were formally announced but 2 days ago, I am celebrating a 1-week anniversary with a 12-year-old Leica M8.
Paging Dr. Freud.
Okay, just between the two of us, here's a little real talk. I freely admit that this camera has required an adjustment, but rather than just ramble about that incoherently, I'll show you some pictures. While I ramble about that incoherently. Image 1. I like saying image because it makes me feel like the big man in tall pants. Hey, what you have before you now represents what I enjoy most about the Leica experience. That is that this body and lens combo encourages me to take my time and look for more compelling compositions. With my Sony a7 III, I most often shoot wide angle. 28mm is my walking around favorite, and the bulk of my professional work in real estate is shot at 16mm. In contrast, with my M8 and its 1.3 crop factor, I'm shooting at about 46mm. This tighter crop encourages me to tell a tighter story because I can't fall back on the wide angle to do more of that job for me. It's a worthy challenge, methinks. Image 2. I don't shoot much street. It's always made me feel a little awkward. Do I ask permission? Do I try to shoot more stealth? Do I suck it up and accept that there will be times that I may have to deal with folks who prefer not to be in photographs? I don't know. Heck, I haven't resolved any of those questions, but this camera seems to love shooting outside in urban environments, like the bustling metropolis of Cape Girardeau featured here. Oh, and one aspect of rangefinder shooting that I'm really growing to appreciate is frame lines. It makes compositions like this relatively easy, and I could see out of frame enough to know that I had plenty of time to compose, focus, and shoot before someone could enter the frame, become enraged at my temerity, and slug me in the gut. Image 3. I can't put my finger on why, but this composition felt like something that could have been shot half a century earlier. I dig that. I dig history in general, and photographic history in specific. One can imagine a connection with the Leica shooters of yesteryear. And I'll give it to you straight, friend, it feels pretty good to connect with that. And who wouldn't want to be in the lofty company of such Leica-using titans as Bresson, Davidson, Seal? Now, this journey hasn't been all gumdrops and sarsaparilla. Incidentally, I invite you to check out the spelling of sarsaparilla. It's baffling. Okay, I still miss focus with some regularity, and I finally decided to leave the ISO set to base 160 on account of the noise at higher ISOs. This means that I much prefer shooting in broad daylight than I do to shooting inside, though the latter is possible with a steady hand or tripod. Look, this is a camera that encourages a person to take their time, to slow down, to enjoy the scenery, kinda like my old Volvo, which seemed preternaturally determined to make me slow down or even stop entirely if the scores of breakdowns were any evidence. Friend, it's still early. There remains much to discover about this marvel of engineering, which, unlike my Volvo, shows no signs of breaking down, and I'm up for the challenge. More to come in future weeks. Hey, thanks for stopping by.